Hey everybody, John Millen here with Benefit Hackers. I am so excited to have Marley Jaxx on today. Marley is the CEO and founder of Jaxx Productions. Let's just say she is a guru when it comes to video, marketing, impact, and I had the pleasure of seeing her on stage this year at Funnel Hacking Live. So Marley, thank you so very much. I know you're busy for coming on today.
Oh, thank you for having me. So excited to chat with you today.
Yeah, so you had such a great impact on me at Funnel Hacking Live, and it just so many great tips about video and marketing and impact and telling a story. And so I have a couple questions I thought that we might go through with you. And I know you've had some pretty big name clients in your past, right? So you've worked with Damon John, right? You've shared the stage with Gary Vee, and I could probably talk for 10 minutes about some of the celebrities you've worked with. So let's just say you're an expert in the space. Is that fair?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So first thing I want to talk about is I want to get right into the topic. So our audience is mostly small, mid-sized businesses. So in the employee benefits arena, we work with a lot of small and mid-sized companies. And I'm hearing talk right now of people saying they want to get into video and they want to get on YouTube. So I want you to, if you could, explain why video and how its evergreen impact is so important.
Yeah, well, in video I started doing video because I knew that was going to be the way that people would connect with me more. Like we're not reading blogs as much. We scroll past little text posts here and there. So video really allows people to get to know the person behind the brand and really show the personality. So I started making videos as a way to get myself more visible, and then they really started to take off. But what the big switch was for me was when I started putting these videos on YouTube. These videos last longer than what you can do with like a Facebook Live or an Instagram post or anything, because we have to remember that YouTube is a search engine. So when you have a problem or a solution you need to find, and you type into Google or YouTube to find, an answer to that, videos can come up, and content that you made even years ago can still be showing up. So I have videos that I made even back in 2016 that are still generating leads for me because they're ranking in the search engine, because I titled my videos based on how people are searching for them.
See right there, you can shut the thing off right now. I remember you talking about that. And in fact, I went onto your YouTube channel and I was like, whoa, 437,000 views with a video called How to Use Canva.
Yeah.
And this was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I want you to explain that again. YouTube is a search engine, it's not like Facebook, Instagram. So define that a little better for me.
So when you have a problem you need to find, so let's say if you're diving into Canva, you need to use this graphic design software. You type into Google how to use Canva, boom, a video shows up. It's a tutorial. It walks you through it. It doesn't always have to be tutorial videos, but what I'm saying is people are looking for solutions to their problems, and or trying to learn things that's going to advance them in their career or their health or their relationships or whatever. And so when you can make these videos and have them show up in search engines, not like on YouTube or not like on Facebook. So, I don't know where to find my Facebook Lives that I did 3 years ago. I'd probably have to search for a very long time. I'd have to scroll through forever. But with a search engine, you can type in what you're trying to find, and voila, the video comes up. So if you can make content based on what your audience is searching for, you can have an evergreen sales machine at your fingertips.
That is gold, because so many people, they might have a product or service they sell. They may have a client base they're looking for. They may have things that they know how to do that they want to monetize. And You're right. I still go to Google and I still type in stuff. I don't go to Instagram and type out how to Canva. I go to Google.
Exactly.
And Google's a pretty big search engine. So that in and of itself, I think, is a great point. Did you stumble into that, or did you just know, hey, YouTube is the way I need to go? How did you find that was a fit?
Yeah, I definitely stumbled into it. It was that Canva video that really started to take off. And I thought, well, what happened between that one and the other videos that I made, how come this one took off? And so I started to learn, well, how do I make my videos on YouTube go further? And so I started to learn YouTube SEO and thumbnails and retention and how to make sure that people are actually watching my videos. What do I have to say in my videos, or how can I be entertaining or tell a good story to keep people watching?
Yeah. It was fascinating. And so that in and of itself, because I remember in funnel hacking, you talked about that. And it was like, it's like a shift happened, because I'm thinking Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and then you talk about YouTube being a search engine. I'm like, that is so true, but not many people have connected those two dots, and you connected that.
Yeah.
Do you
Good,
find
I'm glad.
do you find when you work with new clients that they haven't connected the dot either? Like when you bring that together?
Yeah, it's a new concept for them to realize like, oh, I've been just posting this content, kind of just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So when you realize that and know that there's like a formula, techniques that you can use to optimize your videos, it changes the game for everything.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Okay, so I want to move into my second part here, which is business owners. So I met a number of business owners at Funnel Hacking Live, and it was, at lunch and in the lines, and some of them said they want to start on video. What tips would you give someone that's not yet into YouTube or videos? Like, what tips would you give someone starting out?
I would look at, first of all, what kind of content does your audience want? Whether it is like tactical and strategies, your expertise, what are the things that you can speak about that for days you can just share all this knowledge? But on top of that is also, what are the stories you can tell around it too? Because there's a lot of people that can turn on the camera and start sharing all this knowledge. But I think the big difference between that, just sharing step 1, step 2, step 3, all of the tips, and having content that really makes people connect to you and resonate with you and want to keep watching you over and over, is the stories that you can tell in your content. And I actually encourage to spend more of your time in the story so that the audience can really understand why this is important and how you came to know this information today, so they really buy into why this is important and why they should listen. And then also hearing your personal experience with it helps them to really connect to you as the storyteller, as the teacher. So for me, I mean, you saw me at Funnel Hacking Live. The big shift in my presentation is when I got vulnerable and said, a few weeks ago, my marriage ended. And it was the most vulnerable thing I could ever share. It was that made the audience go, oh my God, she's real. I can resonate with her. I can relate to her, whether they've had marriage issues or not. It's not about that, but just about going through something that is scary, is unexpected, and the story of perseverance. So what is it about your story, whether it's your struggles that got you to where you are in your business, or your childhood, or even just like a conversation you overheard at the grocery store that gave you an aha moment, that you can share and connect back to what you're teaching?
Wow. I even myself have forgot that tip. I get sometimes in a rhythm, 1, 2, 3 tips, 4, 5
Right.
tips, 6, 7, and not share enough about the reason behind it or the story
Yeah.
behind it.
Yeah.
That's really great. That's awesome. Okay. The next thing that I've been dying to ask you about is brand building versus monetizing on YouTube. For instance, in our industry, it's insurance, health insurance, benefits. I'm trying to build my brand so I create awareness so that people think of us and maybe call us. Like, I'm not selling something instantly. Is there a difference on YouTube and making videos between brand building and trying to monetize stuff right away?
I think they really do go hand in hand. So in every one of my videos, I'm sharing, the content, the stories, the things that are going to get people to connect to me and resonate with Marley as the brand. But in every video, I'm also monetizing. So I reverse engineer what's the impact I want to make, like how do I want my audience to feel from this video and how do I want them to connect with me? But then also, what can I give them as a next step? And the next step is a lead magnet or a freebie that gets them onto my email list, where then I can nurture them towards a sale. So I'm building the brand by building the relationship, but then I'm also opening the door towards getting on my email list, because that's where I can continue to drive them towards a sale and building the relationship.
Have you found, you mentioned that as well about using, with ClickFunnels, we use landing pages and different things. Do you find that's hard to match your message on your video with the right freebie? Have you had to experiment with that a lot to find so that they go and they grab that free thing?
I customize my freebies towards the video. So I have multiple lead magnets that we use. So if one video is about filming, I'm going to send them to my batch filming webinar. If one video is about scripting, I'm going to send them to a scripting template. Like, I have multiple things so that it makes sense. Like, what's the next logical step to send them to?
Wow. I remember when you said that, I thought, oh my gosh, I've been posting videos on LinkedIn with no call to action for months.
Yikes.
And then I heard you, I'm like, wait a minute. She just said she does a video, and then in the description, she'll have, click here for this, or you mention it. Talk to us more about that. How do you weave that into your video?
Yeah, and it's just supposed to be subtle. It's not meant to be like, sometimes people will say, well, should I have a call to action in every video? Doesn't that make it spammy? No, don't be spammy. Position it as, here's more value, here's the next steps. I just gave you my step by step, but if you want the full framework, you can click it at the link below. I'm going to give it all to you for free. When you position it like that, it's just, here's more value. Like, this is the next step that you need to be able to now implement what I've just taught you. And when you do that, it's like you're asking them for the next date. If you're on a date with someone that you think is your soulmate or love of your life or whatever, and you just want to play hard to get, good luck. Ask them for the next date. Here's the thing. Click the link below. Let me date you. Let me build this relationship.
That's fantastic advice, because that was a piece I wasn't doing. I was doing the videos, but I wasn't doing that, and just piecing these things together is going to be really helpful for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask about metrics, because I know people can get all tied up, and I've asked you before on Instagram to the metrics and what do you measure? Because I'm sure you use this, but there's the YouTube Studio mobile app where you can, and I can get lost in these numbers and graphs and charts. I mean, what are the things that we should be worried about when it comes to metrics, or should we not worry about them at all?
No, I look at the metrics. I want to know what's working and what's not, and what I can tweak for future videos. So one of the big things that we look at is watch time. How much of your content are people actually watching? Are they watching for 30 seconds and they never get past that? If so, why? Go to the point where people are falling off and look at what's wrong. Is your intro too long? Are you spending too much time talking about yourself instead of focusing on the audience? That's things that you need to learn as you're creating more content. Also look at the click-through rate. So when people see your thumbnail compared to all the other thumbnails, are they clicking through on yours? So we also want to see a click-through rate of at least 4%. And if it's not, then maybe you can change out your thumbnail. You can split test your thumbnails and see which one gets a higher click-through rate. For your watch time, you want to have a watch time of like 30 to 40%. Obviously, we want to have 100%. We want people to watch 100% of our videos. But with attention spans, that doesn't always happen. So 30 to 40% is kind of the average for a good video.
Let me end with this. I know that you provide a lot of value, so I want to give you a chance. And these tips have been really great. I want to give people a chance. Where can they find you? Certainly your website, but you have a challenge that you do.
Yes.
So tell us about the challenge, because there's people like us that, I can't do it all by myself. I want someone to help us through it. So if someone wanted to reach out to you, where would they go?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. We have the 21 Days to Infinite Video Impact Challenge. And it is 21 days where I help you to create your video strategy and how to create good content that's going to engage people and indoctrinate them, nurture them. And within 21 days, we help you set that all up. And there's students who have gotten their YouTube channels to 1,000 subscribers from scratch just during that time, or people who have, it's $47, but they implement it and then have made hundreds, or even one of our students said he paid $47 for the challenge and made 3,000 just by implementing everything that we taught him over the 21 days. So if you implement this, you will get a return, and not just today, but for years to come, because like we said, YouTube can create an evergreen sales machine for you. So we do this challenge a few times a year, and it starts, our next one starts in June. And you can go to infiniteimpactchallenge.com to sign up for that.
Excellent. I remember seeing that, and that's a great idea, because so many people don't know where to start, and you're helping them through that. And $47 is well worth it. You're going to need someone with your expertise to go through that. Any last things you want to share before we wrap it up?
Well, I would love for people watching to keep learning. I have lots of free trainings on my YouTube channel too, youtube.com/Marley Jaxx. Or you and I connected over Instagram. I try to be a stand-up comedian on my Instagram stories. So join me over there too, instagram.com/Marley Jaxx.
Excellent. This has been wonderful. I will tell you that if you guys spend some time on their website, on the challenge, on Instagram, she's walking the walk. You're doing the stuff that you're teaching people. And if you watch her and you mimic, you say, why did she do that thumbnail? Why did she do this post? I've looked at your descriptions. What are you saying about go down below? And try to, you're kind of like Gary Vee, where he's like, watch me. What I'm doing is what you should be thinking about doing. So I want to thank you again for spending this time, Marley. It's a pleasure seeing you at Funnel Hacking. Hopefully you'll be there next year.
I will, for sure. Hopefully on stage. That'd be great.
That'd be great. So thank you again. Best of luck to you. And thanks again for connecting.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.